Guys, welcome back to Precision Rifle Network. Today I have the new Garmin Xero C1 Pro Chronograph. Just picked it up today from Midway, so I was not one of the special people that got one of these ahead of time. Spent my own money on it, so I'm giving you kind of a quick unboxing video, even though it's already unboxed. Like literally all that comes in it, guys, is the chronograph, the little built-in like tripod thing, and the power cord. That's it. So I'm not sure you need to see the unboxing video, but there it is. Some instructions that you literally don't need. I'll get into that. Very minimal packaging on there. So if y'all are good with it, there it's unboxed. Let's get rid of the box. First off, I will say I have turned it on and synced it with the phone app, which was seamless, like very intuitive, no issues. Should have recorded that on my phone, but I didn't. I'm sorry. It only took 30 seconds or something like that. Literally turned the unit on. It asks you if you want to pair with your phone. You go and you turn your Bluetooth on. Everything pairs and syncs just fine. And then I did the software update, which took a little bit longer. I don't know if anybody has got a Garmin watch and uses the Garmin Connect app on the phone. And you know when you hit that sync button and it takes forever, you get the little spinning wheel of death. This is no different. I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe it's just my personal experience, but the syncing of app updates and updates between a device and a phone app with Garmin, everything is slow. So expect that to take a little bit of time. It wasn't ridiculous. It was probably 10 minutes that it took to sync everything and then do the update on the device, and then everything was good to go. So I'm just going to go through some of the things that I see. I literally just got it, guys. Like I purchased it this morning at 6 a.m. from Midway USA, which is here in Columbia, Missouri, where I live. I drove out there at like 9:30 and got it. Got it home at like 10:30, let's say. Had my coffee first, of course, so it took a little bit longer. It is now 11:10 in the morning when I am making this video. So I literally just got it. Just got it set up. I did attach it to the front of my 22 long rifle comp gun, and I shot that out at a target real quick just to see if it was tracking or picking up. More importantly for me at this stage, I was seeing if the unit would operate upside down. And I know that sounds funny, so let me just go through the stuff and the things and the connections and all the stuff, and I'll give you my initial impressions of it. And then we'll do a video down the road where I compare it with the Lab Radar and the Bullet Seeker, because I have both of those units as well, and we'll compare to this and see which one kind of wins, comes out on top, pluses and minuses, that sort of thing. That'll be a different video for a different time. All right, so right now, what you're seeing from me is I had this little Arca ball head adapter on this little mini tripod, and all these photography type items use 1/4 thread, like all of them for the most part. And so I took this off the top of that tripod and used the existing 1/4 screw off of that and screwed it right onto the bottom of the Garmin unit. Now, the downside to using something like this to attach directly to your Arca rail on a rifle or something like that is then the Garmin's going to be upside down. You're going to be reading the screen upside down. You can tell that the people weren't assuming that anybody would think of that and run it upside down, because the screen on the Garmin stays upside down. It doesn't automatically rotate the screen or anything like that. So they assumed that it was going to be used, you know, off of a little tripod mount like this, or maybe with the Area 419 mount that was made specifically for this guy. It's nice, it's contoured, it's all the things. I assure you, other people in the industry are already working on other solutions. The Area 419 is going to be super, super nice, solid, reliable. I can recommend it for sure. I've seen it. It's cool. But there are cheaper options, cheaper methods. Like for me, I just went with what I had in hand. So I went ahead and mounted this upside down on the front of my Arca Swiss rail on the end of my comp gun. Yeah, the screen was upside down, but it attached perfectly. It picked up all the shots. Everything worked as expected. and that was with 22 long rifle. Then all I did was I took and put a little Arca plate adapter on the top of their Garmin supplied tripod. And so now if I want, I can run this attached to the gun. Yeah, it's upside down, whatever. Spam me in the comments if you want for now. Until there's a better solution that I have in my hands, this is what I'm making do with today. So I can run this on the rifle attached to the Arca underneath the bottom, or I can just quickly attach this to this mount and use it on top of their little ball head, just like it was supposed to be used from the factory, from them. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. With all that out of the way, the prefacing out of the way, let's get into this. So I'm going to go ahead and start the app. Well, I'm going to turn the unit on, hold down for 1-2 seconds. Oh, it just turned right back off. Actually, just tap once. Yeah, just tap once. And then I'm going to hit the Shot View app. And I get a little indication on the Garmin unit itself that it's looking for the phone. I get a little update wheel here on the app that it is finding that. So now it says no recording sessions because, you know. But I can click on this and I can go in and it says Xero C1 connected. If you want to look, see what that looks like, you just click in and it goes about device, updates, help and info. That's where I did the update and it did that little sync there. But I'm going to go back, and if I want to start a new session, I just hit Sessions on the phone, and actually on the device, I go in and I create a new one. So I don't know if you can see this over my shoulder or not. I'm sorry about any glare or anything. I'm going to do my best. But there's New Session, History, and Settings. And let's just say I went down to Settings, and it's pretty intuitive. Across the top, we've just got OK, Power, up and down. That's literally all there is. There is a little door on the side where you can plug in your power cord or data transfer cable or whatever you want to call it. But for now, I'm going into Settings and I hit OK. And I can change my units. So if I go into units, I've got feet per second, meters per second, miles per hour, kilometers per hour. So feet per second is kind of what we use around here. So I'm going to set that. Display color, you can go white or black. So day or night mode, whatever you want to call it. You can change your backlight. I've got mine set at 50%. You can change your data fields. This is a little bit more, I haven't got into this exactly yet, but like in data field number 1, if I click into that, it lets me set what I want. And I think there's 5 different data fields. So I've got mine at minimum speed, maximum, and then you can go maximum speed, you can go average speed, you can go standard deviation, extreme spread, kinetic energy, power factor, and deviation from average. But kind of factory set, it comes with minimum, maximum, average, standard deviation, and extreme spread already set up. And so that's what I was using for my setup. So there's that. And go back out for data fields. Pro settings, what that gives you under there is you can add your projectile weight, which I guess just helps it be a little bit more accurate. So I went ahead and allowed that to be turned on. It was factory settings. It had projectile weight entry as turned off, and it had show alignment diagrams as turned on. I'm not even sure what the alignment diagrams are yet at this point, but those were the settings. So I turned the weight entry on because I thought it'd be important to be able to turn on my bullet weight. That's all that's under Pro settings. And then you've got language, you've got connectivity, and you've got reset all settings and your about page, which is just FCC crap. And, you know, under connectivity, if we go in there, we've got status and pair phone. My status is currently connected. I could click it and disconnect, or I could go and manually, pair phone if I needed to do that. So back out then, let's go to new session. And we're going to hit OK. And on this page, we've got rifle, pistol, bow, air rifle, and other. And so far, all I have done is rifle. I will, in the other video, the longer, more detailed video, I will shoot a rifle, I'll shoot a pistol, I'll shoot a bow, I'll shoot an air rifle, and we'll figure out what other is. Maybe airsoft gun. We'll see. Yeah, I'm thinking of all kinds of others right now. Slingshots? I don't know. So for right now, we're going to go into rifle, and I'm going to hit OK. And it gives you 2 selections. for velocity range. And it's a broad range, but it really doesn't matter. So you've got 1,700 feet per second to 5,000 feet per second on the high range. And then on the low range, which is what we're going to do right now, 600 feet per second to 1,700 feet per second. So I'm going to click that one. Enter the weight, the projectile weight. Do you want to do that? Skip or yes? I'm going to say yes. It's set at 40 grains because, again, I kind of already pre-tested it a little bit with my 22 long rifle. So I'm going to hit OK. And you scroll through, OK, OK, OK. And now it gives you this little page. It talks about alignment. It says 5 to 15 inches from the barrel and 5 to 15 inches from the muzzle. And I just realized that's what that setting is in the other page where it asks you if you want to see the alignment diagrams. That's what this is. You could turn that off. Now that you know what it is and where you're supposed to position it, go into those settings, turn that off. You don't have to see this screen again. I'm just going to pass it by hitting OK. So now we've got it set here. It says rifle at the top, gives you your battery information, tells you that your phone is connected. Says shots 0, and then it's got minimum, average, and max. And as we take our shots, that data is going to tabulate on there, and then we'll be able to go in. So let me walk over to the window. I'll move a camera over there, and I'll shoot 5 shots, and then we'll come back to this and show you guys what it does. All right, guys, so I've got the device here in my hand. It also gives you a warning. It says movement detected, radar disabled while in motion. Just so you know, if that pops up, it just means keep it still, idiot. You're supposed to be tracking things here. I've got the phone app recording. I've got this recording. Again, I want the screen facing me just so I know that it's working, but I'm just going to literally slide this on to my Arca rail out front. Tighten it down like that. Let's fire 5 shots out here. We'll go ahead and do 10. Or however many that was. So I was reading it upside down and I thought it was 10. I thought it was 8 shots. It was actually 10, but I was reading the 0.8 feet per second on that last shot. All right, so when we're all done shooting, we just hit OK. And it's got a shot list, a session summary. It's got data fields, display, whatever. So like, for example, if I want to say session summary and click into it, it gives me those 5 categories that I wanted in the first place, which is minimum, average, and max, and extreme spread and standard deviation. So let's get back over to the table and we'll go through this. So as you guys can see, it worked just fine upside down on the rifle. Quick, simple, very cheap solution. These types of heads like this you can find on a lot of photography equipment. Amazon probably has some for 10 bucks. I don't know. I didn't check. I just had one. I also checked for an arm that is similar, not quite as nice, but similar to Area 419's arm. And there are available arms on Amazon. I have one on order. I should have it tomorrow. I'll definitely use it in the longer video, but that was like $25. And it'll do the exact same thing. This will mount off to the side of the rifle in the correct orientation. It'll slide right onto the Arca. 25 bucks. I know other companies are going to be making things for this because I have an inkling that this is going to be extremely popular. But let's go through this data. So far, I will say, even though the Xero is connected to the device on my phone, the session is not showing up on my phone yet. And I have tapped the sync button several times. It says last sync just now. That should show up here under sessions, and it's not. So let me see if I'm just missing something on here. Maybe I have to end the session first on here. Yeah, probably. Here we go. I'm going to go end session and hit OK. All right, so it showed up immediately when I hit end session on the device. So now let's go into the phone just out of curiosity. It's going to give you the same data. 10 shots, average kinetic energy, 96.8 foot-pounds, average of 1043.8 feet per second, standard deviation of 8, and extreme spread of 24. Just in case you're wondering, that is the SK match, the red box on that 22 LR. And we can go down. It says, I like this, that you can edit shots. That's one thing on the Bullet Seeker that I don't think you can do. Like the other day I was out at the range, for example, and as I was setting up my Bullet Seeker, it picked up on 2 shots, ghost shots apparently, that were in the 700 to 800 feet per second range, and it added it into my session. And then I did my 5 shots or whatever, but there's no way to delete that first and second shot out of the Bullet Seeker that I'm aware of. Maybe there is, and someone can comment and let me know, but that I'm aware of, I couldn't do that. So I like that I can edit these shots, because if I go down here and, you know, I've got 9 shots that are all really close to 1050 feet per second, and then all of a sudden I've got one that's like 1125, just crazy high compared to all the other shots, I can delete that and get a better idea of what this ammo will do on the average, right? But these ones are all pretty close. I don't need to delete any of these that I can see. They're all very close. The highest was 1060. You know, some guys like to throw out the highest and the lowest. That's why they fire more shots, like 10-shot groups. It's up to you how you want to do it. I'm not going to bother with that, because I am totally okay with a standard deviation of 8 and an extreme spread of 24 when it comes to 22 long rifle. So there's that. Anyway, on the device here, if I were to go into history now and click OK, it's got my last session, and I click into that, and it's going to tell me the exact same stuff as the app. It's just a little bit more convenient on the app because it's bigger, easier to see. So I can go shot summary, which tells me my min, my average, my max, my extreme spread, and my standard deviation. Pretty simple. I'll go back out of there. If I want to go shot list, it's going to be the same as this. I click into it. Yep, shot 10, 9, 8, and so on down the line. Gives me the data, right? No difference there. So I can delete it if I want. I'm just going to go back out. Shot list, delete session. I'm just going to go back out. I'm going to keep that session. Again, it is pretty straightforward, you guys. I dig it. I think the mounting options are going to be where the rubber meets the road on this thing. I like that it comes with the little tripod thing, and I'm going to be testing that, as I'm sure other YouTubers will as well, and other people. I'm sure it works just fine. In fact, I watched X-Ring Ray over there had his video about this already up today, and so I watched his, and he tested different mounting solutions and ways of using it. He had the Area 419 rail. It looks really nice. I'm sure it works great. This also works really great. So, my first thoughts, I guess, on it, guys. Here's your options, right? For years, if you wanted a really good chronograph solution, you were in the, I'm going to say $300 range for magneto speed, right? Or you were in the $500-600 range for lab radar. They both have their pluses and minuses, and they both work for the most part, right? The downside with a magneto speed is you have to have it connected to the barrel in most cases. Now, other companies have come out with mounts where you don't have to have it connected to the barrel, but there's still a decent amount of setup required on that thing. But it does work, and it's less money for sure than some of these others. But then you add the cost of a proper mount in with it so that you don't have to attach the thing to your barrel and check for clearance and all those kinds of things. You're right back up at the same cost, roughly, of a lab radar. The main issue with lab radar is twofold. Number one, it'll drop shots on the regular. It just won't pick them up. Maybe because you don't have it aligned correctly or whatever it is. So alignment is one, and it just randomly drops shots. And that's the lab radar. And there's been no updates for years now. Very little support on that. They've just been running with what they do, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. It technically works. It's just big. It's a big unit. It's cumbersome. I mean, you compare the size of this, which is literally about the size of a GoPro camera, to something like the lab radar. Well, now enter in the speed tracker, Mach 4 Plus or whatever it's called. I've got one of those too. And again, I'll do more on the longer video on this. But that was small and connects right to the rifle in an easy way. I haven't had that drop shots yet, but I have had it pick up ghost shots. I've had that happen on a number of occasions. And that's not cool. Like, I don't want it just picking up random stuff. So we're going to have to see how this goes along. But that one was $1,000 for the convenience of having it be small and having it be reliable. You're paying a premium. Now, they've since come down. Those are like $800 and some on those ones. But you compare that to something like this that's $600, right in there, comparative with the Lab Radar, but a number of different excellent mounting solutions that all seem to work really well so far. But this is my first day. I'm just kind of going off of word of mouth from people who I know have had it for months now and have been using it, and it works great. So take that for what it is until I can test it for myself. But my initial impressions here today, guys, is this is going to be kind of a game changer in the chronograph world. It seems to be a really good unit and priced competitively. It's nice that it's so compact. You can keep it on your rifle the entire time if you wanted to. If you were trying to track speeds or something like that, maybe F-class shooters or something that track their speeds, or bench rest shooters, or whoever tracks their speeds with every shot. This is going to be a big deal for them, something that's small and easy to keep on the bench top. Or guys who just want to track their ammunition over a larger number while also using the rifle in, positional shots or a competition or something like that. So that's what I know so far. I, again, will be making another video on this, guys, as soon as I have a chance to get out to a range, put proper time into the project, and understand this thing more fully as it relates to rifles, pistols, bows, all the things, right? So thanks for watching. Please take a moment to hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button. Definitely would appreciate that. We're on that push to 100,000 subscribers, man. Got to get there. So help us out, and maybe consider one of these if you're in the market for a decent chronograph. Thanks, guys.